welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and today on Cuesta Sports Monthly, it's all about Cuesta's most successful sport, water polo. The men's and women's teams have both produced multiple championships and playoff berths over the decades, while sending dozens of athletes off to the four-year and professional levels. Today, we are joined by the men's poloists Jordan Northcutt and Joey Brocar, as well as Aubrie, Kirby, Tatro, and Sydney Gills from the women's team. And just before we go, we'll have a chat with returning alumni and former coach Karl Blum, who has returned to the program this season. So Joey, Jonathan, welcome back. Jordan, sorry about that. We're going to get to that question right away. So you're back after a year off. How does it feel to be back in the water after a year off?
It's amazing. Actually feel like I came back better than before, and yeah, I was really confident coming in this season. I'm still confident and ready to keep it going. Now,
the last time you played with your older brother Jonathan. So we had the Jonathan-Jordan Northcutt combination there. Yeah. Both of you guys made All-American this year. Do you feel that pressure a little bit coming back, as having to be that guy again?
For sure, 100%. My brother, he put some big goals up there for me, and now I got to go and try and break them.
Now you're looking to play at the next level too?
Yeah. Right now I'm just kind of whatever coach wants me the most is where I want to go. So no schools in mind as of right now.
Now, Joey, Jordan's played here the whole time, his whole life in California. You came over here from Chicago. What's it like being a water polo player from Chicago? What was the difference there?
It was completely different. I feel like I came here and it was a completely different rule set even. I mean, like just from the push-off calls to I played center defender there, and I'd like to think I was a pretty good center defender there, but in reality I just got a bunch of headbutt calls, you know. Anytime someone tried to do a push-off, it was an offensive and I got to just swim the other way. So it was actually his older brother that I was coming to visit, and I got in, and Marsh was the old coach, and he told me to just go and play whole D, and I went and tried to play on him, and he grabbed my toes and scored on me or something, and it was just completely crazy. It was a different experience entirely.
That's the difference between age and treachery and youth and enthusiasm, right?
Yeah.
He's going to take advantage of you a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, you also played for John Marsh, our former men's coach, but you also played for Eric Marsh's son.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time with the Marshes. What are some of the things you learned from each of them on the way up?
They both know what they're talking about when it comes to water polo, 100%. They both have a similar style, and I love it. But don't get me wrong, Greg's just as good. We all have the same morals, but at the end of the day, there's no really big difference between Eric and Big Marsh. So coaching it just made coming from high school to Cuesta 10 times easier, and already knowing what's going on, having a feel for the coach and what John Marsh is going to be like.
I guess that's why they call him Big Marsh and Mini Marsh. Is that how it works? Now, you guys both came in there last year, was kind of started off really rough. John Marsh retired, and the program was kind of in a flux, but we just came off a fourth place finish at state Final Four. Jordan redshirted, and you guys, what was your feeling there with the program? Were you kind of worried about it a little bit?
Yeah, it was definitely really nerve-wracking, I mean, I came from Chicago, and there's a lot of other players who came from far away, from even, other countries who came to play under Marsh because of, his legacy, his reputation, and he was a great coach here and helped me improve a ton, and having to go without him for a while was really scary, but it was, guys that had already trained under him and people that really cared about the program, like Dante and Jake Burns from last year. Merritt was there too, and they helped keep the team together, and we just stayed as a unit, and we were able to stick around until Greg Unlow came around and put us right back on the right path. And
he came in running, didn't he? He really got
right
back to the Final Four.
He didn't waste time. He reminded us that we didn't have time. That where we were, and that everyone recognized the situation we were in, and for a while we didn't know if we were going to have a season. So that was really scary, and Enlow made sure to show that we were committed to getting the most out of that season, and I think we did.
I think you guys got a lot of milestones last year. That was the program's 44th straight playoff berth. You collected the program's 30th conference title. You went and what was it? Got the 1,000th victory in school history in that overtime game at Los Angeles Valley to clinch the conference title. That was a pretty exciting season last year. You guys aware of all those milestones you hit on that last week of the season?
It was a big confidence boost coming into this season for sure. We had a lot of confidence and just realizing without a coach what good we did, and even with a great coach what more we can do.
So one of the things, I mean, you had that great freshman year, and the guy who played behind you was Dante Ianora. Dante came out last year. He kind of took control a lot before Enlo was there. Kind of became a leader of the team offensively, and seemed to be really involved in both programs. I got all to see him with the women's game, doing the scorekeeping stuff like that. His season right there, he got to that next level. I mean, he jumped from way behind you to a guy who was almost was a runner-up for Player of the Year. You kind of feel that that's kind of something that you're going to, that kind of you've had that gap year. You feel you coming in this season.
I mean,
are you going to be the guy? Like your brother was the leading scorers to your freshman year, the Dante this year, and you guys all played together. So it's nice that you each get their 1 year where you can really be the guy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yes, you're totally right. I'm for sure looking forward to it, but I'm not really focused on me. I'm focused on winning in the state championship at the end of the year. So that's the goal. Ultimate goal is state championship. Get a nice ring on our finger.
That'd be the first one for Cuesta College since women's volleyball in 1986. So when Karl was my coach, we got second twice. Sudden death overtime. So I need a little revenge. Who do you think? Yeah, the team from Huntington Beach got us a couple of times. But you have it's great. What did you guys talk about there? Or is that just everybody just kind of getting that close last year and the year before? Is that just on your mind? That's just ingrained in you guys?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to win, right? But also, we also have something out for Golden West. We feel like they've taken a lot from us, and that's just something. It's nothing personal, but that's just something we keep in mind to keep us fueled up and keep us going to want to win.
I agree. I think it's ingrained, but I also think the guys around us have those verbal reminders, and we keep it on the forefront where it's like we came here for a reason, and you say like, why do we get up at 5 a.m. for our practices, or why do we go on the trips and put in all this work, and it's just whatever reason you want to come up with, but I feel like for a lot of the guys it's the same, which is to win and go for that state championship.
So you feel that this team is kind of everybody's on the same page a little bit, right? All right. Now, with the coaching staff this year, and you can say anything you want because Karl's not here yet, but we'll have assistant coach Karl Blum coming on later. Just want to see, last year it was a mishmash, and now kind of Greg's been here, he's been in the community, he's met Karl. Karl's coming back to the program. Karl's son played for the program. He played with you, right? Yeah. So his first year he played with you. So what's it like having a guy who has that experience as a coach, coming in there and right behind Greg, and especially with his knowledge of the program?
It's really great having him on the pool deck. Just like extra, he's played at the D1 level, so that's where a lot of us aspire to be. And so anything he says, we take, and we believe him. He's done it. He's been there.
Now, you guys, it's got to be fun a little bit because you guys. I'm wondering, with as deep as this team as you have, and with everybody on the same page, that competitive nature, how different it is. Is it? Do you play? I'm guessing you probably have tougher games in practice than you do sometimes on the road.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know about Jordan. I feel like he gets to just kind of score whenever, but no, sometimes, I mean, especially when we are talking about the huge reasons, and you get just the fire behind why you're doing it, and either reminders from Enlo or your teammates about the purpose behind the practice. Sometimes, it feels like you're getting ready to play that state game, or you're playing for a conference, and you get reminded of every action of, getting the most out of every rep, Something that Enlo says a lot when we're swimming or even, during the polo practices is, we do enough reps, it's just it's like how much you care in every rep, So that's definitely a lot of in the forefront of our heads is just getting the most out of every rep, even if it's just, warm up or the long swims, it's just making it important.
So it keeps everybody motivated, that opportunity to play, that opportunity, and if you don't do that, you're going to get embarrassed and probably lose a spot, right? Is that kind of the thing?
You got to step up. If you're not ready, there's someone else who's waiting. So, but.
All right, well, I'm going to ask you one last question here, just because of the Chicago thing. Just who's your all-time favorite Chicago player?
I don't really know any.
You can say Walter Payton if you want to.
I'll say Walter Payton. I'll say him.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Joey Brocar, Jordan Northcutt. Great to have you guys both here. Best of luck the rest of the way on the season. And let's get that state championship we've been waiting for a while, okay? All right.
Thank you.
That does it for men's water polo here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. When we come back, we'll be with the women's water polo players, Aubrie, Tatro, Kirby, Tatro, and Sydney Gills. We'll see you back when we return on Cuesta Sports Monthly.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
We're back on campus with returning starters Aubrie, Kirby, Tatro, and Sydney Gills from women's water polo. Welcome back, or welcome to the show, ladies. Just want to see how the season's going for you. How are you feeling coming back for your second seasons?
I'm feeling good. We have a bigger team this year. A lot of solid players. Starting with like a 4-win streak was or 5 actually. It was 5. That was kind of good for our confidence. Going into the season, knowing that we can take on these hard teams and feeling confident as we grow and learn to play together. It's been fun so far. I'm excited to see how we do as we progress.
Yeah, I agree. We have a lot of super strong athletes on our team, and we're kind of from all over California, really, and it's cool to see, and we've grown a lot as a team this year, too, so I'm super excited for what's in store for us. Cause we have,
so the team's kind of,
yeah.
You got a nice mixture of new players and returners.
Yeah.
And then, you have players from all over. But you two were pretty close playing. Did you guys play a lot against each other during high school?
I actually never played AG in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
We weren't in the same league.
It changed when I graduated, though. My team started going to the AG tournaments and stuff. But when I was at San Ynez, I never played AG. I always heard about them, though, because they're a great team. But, yeah, I never played them.
Is it okay playing with a Golden Eagle, right? Is it okay? Pirates and Golden Eagles can play on the same team eventually now and then get along pretty good?
Yeah. It's cool to see playing with players that you played in high school, though. Yeah. Last year I played Leanna Reed. I played her a lot in high school, and I showed up day one to practice and was like, oh, wait, we're on the same team now. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
So, what about you? You play a very unique position. You play goalie. Mm-hmm. What was it that got you into the goal?
Honestly, I kind of just got thrown there. Our goalie had to get surgery on her back, and there was no one else who wanted to do it, and I was like, I guess I'll do it. Also was not very good at field, so I was like, gotta do something, and then I ended up liking being in the goal.
Now, when was that your beginning as your freshman or as 8th grade? When did you start playing?
I started playing goalie when I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I started playing water polo as a freshman, but I took a year off when COVID happened, and then I came back my junior year playing field still. Then near the end, I switched to goalie, which was pretty good for me.
So how? Just because I had thought about that, but how did that transition with the COVID kind of affect you guys as athletes and the students and personally, actually?
For me, I really struggled not being able to play sports because I played sports my whole life, and have not really been the best student, but I'm really working on it. But I thrive when playing sports, so it was really hard to be cooped up all day, not doing anything. But I lived in a pretty small town where the restrictions kind of got lifted earlier than everywhere else, so we were able to get back in the water. And it was weird with water polo because there were so many different rules, because I played softball as well, and we had to like use the same ball the whole practice and only throw with one person. But with water polo, it was weird because we were in the pool.
You're immersed in chlorine.
And we can't wear a mask, and we can't really not share, and we're like fighting the whole time. We're really up close and personal. So yeah, it was weird going back to sports with all the restrictions, but I think I came out of COVID like really grateful for sports and what it has done for me, for sure.
Well, you got to be a little safer because you were in the goal. Not many people came bother you, right?
The same thing for me. Like, it was rough for a while not being able to play, but I think like taking the time off kind of helped me realize like it is something that I want to do. I want to keep playing water polo, and like, you know, it helped me not get burnt out, because I think if I played all 4 years of high school, I would have gotten burnt out and not wanted to play in college. So it was kind of a good thing for me, honestly. Helped me.
Well, now you're kind of like a burgeoning two-sport star here at Cuesta College. I mean, not many people make all conference as a freshman in water polo, and then come in and then make all conference in swim and dive. Emphasis on the dive. How was that experience? Well, just kind of coming in there and walking right into a spot where you got a chance to show your stuff after being a kind of a beginning goalie. You said in your junior year, but to come in there and get that opportunity to do your stuff right away. What was that like there? And then the diving, how did that work out for you?
It's been really nice, like coming back and just, playing the sport I love and being able to play, like to start and get like the opportunity to play these like hard teams. And honestly, the diving thing came up because I didn't want to do swim, and I was like, I would contribute much more to the team doing dive than I would doing swim, and which ended up being true. I don't think I ever scored a single point in swim, but I scored a lot for dive. And I did gymnastics growing up, so I thought it was pretty similar.
And Coach Coral Minton is pretty fun to work with,
yeah,
right? She's great. Glad to have her back on. Yeah. She's kind of took a break from that. Now, you were. Let's just go back to high school a little bit here. I love this. That you were the school's female athlete of the year and homecoming queen. Yeah. What kind of happened with that? Because the image of the homecoming queen is kind of well, it's a princess. It's a queen. It's royalty. And then you're in there and you're scrapping and playing water polo and being very successful at that. You're a very versatile young lady.
Yeah, I really. My senior year, kind of everyone our age uses the term locked in. I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to take this seriously and I'm really going to work for it, because in the beginning of the year, for the female athlete part, my coach had told me that I was on the way to get a record for my school, and I really wanted it because it was a record that hadn't been broken in a really long time, and it was someone I knew that held the record before, so I really wanted to work for it, and with that just came me like just being in the pool and just working my butt off. And then also at the homecoming queen, I don't really know what to say about that. I just kind of I'm friends with everyone. Just want to be nice to everyone, and I think that showed, and it was really cool to be like a student athlete that got that recognition, not as an athlete, but as a person. So that was nice to get that recognition. Yeah.
Well, it is pretty cool. They have that kind of diversity right there.
Yeah.
One of the other things, playing for Coach Rachel and stuff like that. What is kind of one of the things you think that she's doing well with you guys? Because back-to-back playoff berths. She's been to the playoffs, I think, every year so far.
Yeah.
What do you think that she kind of gets out of you guys?
I think she does a really good job of not only being our coach, but kind of like being like a mentor and like almost like a friend figure out of the pool. Like she's always there for us, not just for water polo, but like with anything that's going on in our life. And I think that translates very well to her coaching. Like we just know she's there for us, and it's the same thing for water polo. Like if we have questions, we can ask her, and it's like we're just always looking to improve, and she always wants that for us, which is really refreshing to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 last questions here.
Yeah.
What's better, reading, camping, or Target?
Oh, I'd say camping. I love camping. I'm not very happy with Target at the moment.
Okay. Sydney, next year, studying abroad in Ireland or going to Cal Poly?
Studying abroad in Ireland, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, good luck. I just came back from there.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Aubrie, Kirby, Tatro, and Sydney Gills for joining us here at Cuesta Sports Monthly. And we're back as Coach Karl Blum.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in this shot. Blown it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. We are very lucky to have current and former Cuesta assistant coach, 2-time All-American and former NCAA star Karl Blum to join us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly.
Thanks, Pete. Glad to be here.
You're back with the program. You took some time off. I mean, it's been a long time. What was your impetus to come back to the program right here?
It was kind of serendipitous because you can tell I'm dressed in white, so I'm going to officiate a game later today. And I was at the officials meeting, and since I hadn't really coached or blown a whistle since before COVID, I asked Coach Enlow if I could come out to practice and help out just by blowing the whistle for him to kind of sharpen my chops a little bit.
You got the bug?
No, I was like, this is good for me. I can just ref a couple days a week, help the program, give back to Cuesta. I get home, and a couple hours later I have a text, hey, would you be interested in being an assistant? So I told my wife, and I said, I think I'm going to do this. And so there it was. It just kind of happened. It's very cool.
I know you played water polo pretty much forever, but what do you think? The kids coming back here now, do you feel that same camaraderie you did when you came back and coached for little me? So you were my assistant coach when I was there, and now you're back for these guys. How has the youths of today changed?
I don't think a lot. As a matter of fact, I think it's pretty hilarious that some of the conversations when we're traveling are virtually the same conversations that your team had, that my team had. And what I notice is that Coach Enlow has really done a great job of building a team environment, and that is something that is selling me more and more on this program right now. It is very much a program that's doing more than just 2 years of community college water polo, and then we forget about you. It's all about growing young men. He's doing a fabulous job.
Now, we've always had our big alumni game here, and that's something that's been people have made a pilgrimage for years for this, and that's going to be going on again this year. What do you kind of feel now? We have you have the Bowen era that you and I played in, the Marsh era, and now we have the Enlow era, and this is the most successful sport in Cuesta history. They got the 30th conference title in the school history last year. We talked about that earlier with the boys, and they're thousands win, and they've never missed the playoffs. So that's a pretty substantial legacy there. through 3 coaches. What do you think that you can help do, and where do you see the program going from here?
Well, I hope that my time with the guys, which is a couple days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, and then driving to tournaments and kind of helping them out and giving them one-on-one pointers, is more than just water polo, that I can share with them experiences of what I thought about when I was matriculating to UCSB, how water polo created opportunities for me. I mean, if it weren't for water polo, my career would have been completely different. I don't know what it would have been, but I know that because of my involvement in water polo and my commitment to hard work and athletics, it led me to ultimately becoming a teacher and a coach and a assistant principal and a principal.
So the kind of your leadership role you took on as a player, as a captain, even at the 4-year level at UCSB, that kind of leadership has kind of carried you through your thing as a coach, as a player, as an administrator, as a teacher. That's kind of that kind of thing that you grew up, and that having that mantle of leadership on you at a young age. Is that
I think that's a piece of it. I think it was always a desire to push and work hard. You know, I always prided myself on working exceptionally hard because I may not have had the most talent as some of the other people that I coached or I played with. And so I always knew that hard work would supersede those who had the talent but were not necessarily willing to work that hard. And it would level the playing field, so to speak. And I've carried that through my entire educational career, and it's the same thing I will tell kids, like, you can always overcome if you're willing to put in the work.
Now, both of your children played water polo. Your older brother played water polo at the 4-year level. You played water polo at the 4-year level. Out of everybody in your family's water polo, what brought the Blums to water polo? Was it?
It was very simple. When I was going to become a freshman in high school, my mom told me, I said, "Mom, I'm going to go out for football." She said, "No, you're not." She said, "You have 2 choices. You have cross country and you have water polo." Well, we had a pool in the backyard, and I've never run anywhere. So it was very simple to show up and say, "I'm going out for water polo." And that was it. And I was lucky because my high school program was probably one of the elite programs to ever exist in the state of California back in the 80s and 90s. And we were blessed with an amazing coach who was one of the legends of high school coaching. And that really just set the foundation of the love of the sport.
So Sunny Hills being the school that you went to, and again, yeah, one of the best ever. What do you see when you look back now at Sunny Hills, at Fullerton, and in general, the way that program has come back at Cal State Fullerton, some of the things that you see in Southern California and with water polo, the way the game has progressed?
Well, I think that when I played in the 80s, it was very much, there was probably a handful of about 8 teams that were constantly in CIF finals at all the division levels. And I think now the parity is much greater. There's many more divisions of water polo. There's many more opportunities for kids to get to finals based on their RPI rankings and their team play and everything. And in Fullerton, you know, when Jim Sprague left as coach and he went to Servite, that was the end of his public school work. But he continued on winning titles at Servite. And Cal State Fullerton had a program when I was in high school that dropped about a year before I graduated. And that was a program that had some rich history. They had ex-Olympians. When they came back, I was just super excited for Fullerton because it's a town that has had a legacy of water polo, not just Sunny Hills. Fullerton High School had a team back in the 40s and 50s and 60s with guys that were on the national team. That was a high school that was beating college teams. And Ace Burns was the name that comes to mind as one of the greatest water polo players ever. He was like a Michael Jordan back in his day, and he was on our national team from Fullerton High School.
So what do you think about the way the game's grown a little bit because we were talking about the 2 men players here played in high school in Bakersfield.
Yep.
And West Niles High School in Skokie, Illinois. What do you think about the way the game has expanded just from where it was mostly a California thing? Maybe there's some New York players, occasional Chicago area person, maybe a Floridian here and there. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the way the game has expanded throughout the United States, even though it is a U.S.-based game?
Right. And it used to be just a California sport. There was Navy, there was Bucknell, and maybe one other college back east that played. And thankfully, all these other colleges at NAIA level, Division II, Division III, even Division I have picked up the sport because it was at risk of dying when I was in college. If it had gone under 40 total teams, it was done. Now there's no talk of that because schools are adding this as a complement to their athletic programs, which is phenomenal. So you get guys like Joey, who's from the Chicago area, that's where I was born actually, and there was nothing at the time when I was a kid, and I remember like there all of a sudden it started popping up, and the Chicago Apostles was a masters team that came out and always took people to task, you know. So now you've got this happening across the country, and when you look at the Junior Olympics, which has hundreds of teams, there's teams from almost every state.
Yeah, it's become it actually has become a national sport. It's kind of, but probably should have been as an original Olympic sport. Karl, thank you very much for joining us. We've had a great time with you.
Thanks, Pete.
I'd love to rehash more stuff later with you. But that does it all. That concludes this opening episode of the 15th season of Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next month.